today. These headlights have to come out because our halo rings there have stopped working, but they are under warranty. Obviously, the only way to get those out is to disassemble the headlights, and I'm going to go ahead and paint them and put a projector in there as well. And since we're taking headlights off, we're also going to get this fender swapped out because of all of that loveliness right there. Battery in, both are hooked up. Just need our intake tube there, and then I can start putting these headlights in, the new temporary ones. Kind of threw it together here to see where our projector is sitting at, and that's looking good so far. I also found a new solution to the halo ring. These are the diode dynamic ones. I got them swapped out, and apparently we're able to just trim these so that this section down here will not have to be cut into the headlight. We can just cut a flat spot right there, and then it will appear as if it disappears. So I will pull it apart and start getting those fitted in. Alright, I got everything set up, all the final taping done, wiped everything off again, and now we'll get to shooting some primer. I know there was some snow in that time lapse, but it is actually not cold out here at all, so we should be good to paint. I had to fight splatters from the can the entire time, but I believe it's going to lay down and dry nice and smooth like it did before. Maybe a couple minor touch-ups with the Scotch-Brite here and there. They're looking good so far. Like right there, that spot will have to be knocked down with the Scotch-Brite a little bit. No extra work will have to be done on these parts. But Now we will get to spraying the black. I had to shut the doors for temperature regulation. I went ahead and we are now on the third coat of gloss black, and I think that is where I'm going to call it for that. They're all looking good. So I will give that a good 30 minutes to dry before I try to move stuff. And then we will get the shrouds and stuff painted red. Didn't film the setup because I'm running out of heat for the day. And this isn't the best lighting, which kind of makes it look orange. But I got the shrouds and the reflectors over here done in the first coat of red. So I'll give that about 20 minutes to dry and shoot them again. And I'll probably have to wait to do the 2K clear on everything for the next warm day. Because I don't want to push it and then end up doing that while it's too cold and ruining everything, since it's all turned out so nice so far. Alright, it's been a good month at least since the last clip. After the third time of this headlight bucket getting messed up and the paint not laying right because it's just simply too cold, and all I have is a garage and some propane heaters to work with at the moment, I called it quits because it is not easy to sand, especially like that shape in there, every little nook and cranny. Oh, it was terrible. So I dropped the project for about a month, let it warm up, and now that headlight bucket is done, along with that one, and everything else is sprayed with the 2K clear, all untaped. I let it sit for about 3 days now. So I just need to give it a good wipe down, get the fingerprints back off of it, and made a store run. Got stuff over there, some JB Weld and some wire and whatnot. Now we can finally get to the final assembly. Alright, after lots of measuring and double checking, and then measuring again and triple checking, I've got the projector nice and centered and tightened down, and this one is mocked up aside from the color changing rectangle halo. So now I will get to putting the other one together. Alright, I got the first one nice and fixed. You can hardly see the restraints I used there. It's nice and sturdy. Not going anywhere. So I'll get the second one wrapped up. And then get some JB Weld thrown on the back of there just to make sure those don't ever come out. And we'll be on to the next step. Got both halos fully mounted. The tabs are JB welded back there just to make them extra secure. This one done as well. And as soon as these stores open back up from the blizzard we're having, because literally everywhere is closed. I'll have to run to Home Depot and get some sort of rubber cap or boot to cover the back of this hole, so we can cut a hole in it to fit all our wires through and then seal everything up, because I can't really put anything else together until I have that part. So we will wait for the storm to let up and go see if we can locate that. So, I was at the point of getting the back nice and tidied up and sealed, and that was working really great. And we'll start by looking at this one. This is how it's supposed to look. Nice and shiny in chrome. I ended up with like a small smudge, a line of something on this one on the chrome. And so I took a small bit of Gooby Gone, and I was just gonna lightly rub on it a little bit. As you can see, it rubbed right through the chrome. So now, I've already started doing, since this is not coming back apart without that housing being cut up, that projector is in there, I have started taping off all the good parts, and I'm going to rub away the rest of the chrome there. I removed the little light bulbs from in there as well. We will get that painted black and then shot with the 2K. And we're also going to ditch the chrome over here, do these solid black, and hit those 2K again as well. And then we'll try this again. I skipped filming the painting process and then a little bit of reassembly just to get it back to where it was before I messed the chrome up in that little spot there. But I'd say the paint job turned out good, almost better than the black I did before. So now we will get to seal them the rest of the way up. I forgot to video us putting the holes in our rubber cap here. And it's just a 4-inch pipe cap from Home Depot. And we used an old golf club shaft to cut down to the different sizes we needed as a punch to get the clean holes. And then once we're all done, we will come back and go around the edges here with some silicone. But I will take our tape here and go around the edge and get this fixed. Then flip it over, give it one final wipe down, and it's time for the lens to go on. And there we have it. They are finally done. Not 100% in every area, cosmetically, but nothing you're going to notice on camera. Still a couple smudges and fingerprints. Won't worry about that until they're put on. But hopefully we can get to that here soon. and see them lit up on the truck. Before I start to get our Morimoto relay harness fitted up here in the truck, we can give it a look over. We got the actual relay itself right there. That blue plug is where it will plug into the factory harness and get its signal. Ground, and then power there with the fuse, and then right there, that one is labeled ballast, and that will go to our projector for the high beam. That's on the driver's side there. And then we just have another ground for the passenger, ballast, and high beam. In an effort to keep the video from being 30 plus minutes long and full of wiring time lapses, I have pulled the headlights out and got most of the wiring in place, so we will go over that now. Up top here, we have our harness mounted pretty much vertically as instructed. Come up here to, this is our ground for that one, the Morimoto harness, and then our power for that. And then our other ground wire here goes to our control box there, and right there for the color changing halos. And then that has a power as well. And then the extension wire has been run along the firewall to meet the passenger one over there. Alright, down here in the headlight area, this is where it starts to get fun. I'll start over here. This is our turn signal socket with our power and our ground already tapped in for the accent light on the headlights themselves. You can see it up in there, maybe. Oh, yep, that black box right there on the left, that is where we tapped in. Here, you can see these colorful wires here. That is the power, ground, and signal wire to tap in the projector shroud halo. There's its control box. And then you have the ballast there, and the bulb plug-in itself is hanging out right there. And this is coming off of our control box there. That was for the turn signal, accent lighting, projector shroud halo, high beam plug, and then down in here, the final one, that's where our harness is getting signal from the truck. So, hopefully all of that makes sense. Here on the passenger side, we have a little bit better look. Those are our taps, power, ground, and signal. And then right in there is the control box that comes out to this lead for the projector shroud. Again, our turn signal sockets, power and ground for our LED strip. And then this extra red one here that's on both sides, that is for the dimming function for the projector shroud. Since we're not using that as part of the actual headlight wiring, I'm just going to run that red one over to the other red one and then run it to a switch in the cab so I can run the projector shroud halo independently along with the rectangular one that changes color. Alright, so we're running into a small fitment issue with how I sealed the back up. If we can get some light in there, maybe. There. The back of our rubber thing that's sealing up is now running into the fender. And we've already pounded it back a good 2 inches. So I guess we're going to have to pull this apart. Come on, focus. There. We'll have to pull this apart And try and remove some of our fender material. We got a bolt in the front part here. I got one there, so that's where it should be. I'm going to come back over here. We got like another 1.5 inches it needs to come back so it can sit flush. That's all we got to figure out, and then we'll finally be done. Everything's hooked up. Halos they turn on their own, and now we're gonna first click on the headlight switch. Ooh, success there. And there. Turn them all the way on. What? All the way on. Oh boy, we did it. Oh, I'll fall over here. So, obviously it's still the middle of the daylight, so you can't see them very well. Well, you can actually. All the painted parts are bright as can be in the day.
Beautiful.
I'll let it get a little darker, throw the bumper skin back on, plastic.
Beautiful.
We'll take another look. Small change of plans. Headlights are back out. We had to rearrange the wiring on this plug so that it is white is ground, brown is low beam, blue is high beam, to match the wiring on the truck side because it was reversed. Now that that's in order, we will put it back together one more time and then enjoy them. Alright, everything is buttoned up and we now have darkness. So we can get a look. Let's see if we can get a focus there. It might actually be too bright now. This is what it looks like with the blinker running. And then this side is just how it would normally light up. And then I'll hop in there and turn the actual headlights on real quick. Alright, we are about 25 feet from this wall, so we will get an inside shot here before I hop out again. That is our low beams, and then our high beams. And they are right about at the perfect height. I haven't measured it exactly, but it should end up right about where the top of my head is, about 44 or 48-ish inches. If I haven't covered it prior, the brand of halos these are Street Ambitions. They call them the Flow series, and it has this little Bluetooth remote. You can get one that works with the app. That's like another $60 or something. The remote does everything I would need it to. And they do all sorts of the color changing things. You can speed them up, slow them down. I don't know if I can see in the dark here. I deleted all the saved ones I had accidentally, but I think there's a better view anyway. So we will fade into the outro music, and I will also throw the drone up into the air and see if we can get an aerial view of the headlight beam. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And until next video.